say that age kills the fire inside of a man. That he hears death coming. He opens.
So we're both.
No, we're good.
Okay,
I can
awesome.
get both our audio from that.
Sounds good. I tried to lean in a little bit.
Oh, you're good.
Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rooftop Podcast, episode 21, I believe. I kind of lose track on the amount of podcasts I do. Still pretty early on, though.
Just make up a number and hope no one checks.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, someone did correct. My little sister corrected me on the first Friday podcast I was talking about. Anyway, guys.
Unbearable.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed already.
Anyways, guys, today my guest is the illustrious Mechanical Ninjineer, also goes by Ridge.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
One thing I do got to tell you, though, Ridge, is that for the longest time, actually, when I learned your name was Ridge, was when I looked on your Instagram and you did that rap for Target. Your name tag said Ridge.
Exactly.
I had always thought your name was Rich.
My mom thought the same thing for the longest time. No, I'm
Oh, I was like, what didn't she name?
A lot of people do. You know what? That's something I hate about the name tags. Is like they wear them like right over like the important areas. So then if you get caught looking at them, it looks like you're trying to check them out or you forgot their name. And I don't know which one's worse. But I feel that happens to me all the time. Yeah.
I guess, do you know why they chose Ridge as a name, or is that just like Ridge sounds good? Let's name Ridge.
It sounds good. They have like a story behind it. Like I don't know the full grips of it, but mainly they thought it sounded good. They thought it was a cool name.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. My parents are Dan and Cindy, so it's kind of like I guess they thought let's go in the opposite direction, and
Dan,
here I am as
Cindy
Ridge.
Have Ridge.
Exactly.
But he goes by the Mechanical Ninjineer on
I
YouTube
do, yes.
and basically everything else, right?
Yeah, more or less. Exactly. Yeah.
So Ridge here, he does kind of a lot of things with his YouTube channel, but it's more in the DIY activities kind of area. He does everything from, I think your latest one is the build your own classy table out of plywood, correct?
Exactly. Plywood side table.
Which came out pretty cool, dude.
I'm glad you like that.
I was like, dang, that's a nice table for.
Exactly.
How much did you spend on that table?
Probably $20, everything all put together. Of course, so you have the time spent building it, but yeah, probably about $20.
That's pretty crazy.
Exactly.
I wish I could do something like that, but I don't necessarily have all the tools for it. But it's pretty good. You want a nice looking table for $20? You got a ton of tools at home. Look up Ridge.
Well, yeah, and that's part of the fun part though, is when you don't have many tables. Oftentimes that's where like what innovation is born or whatever. Yeah, but
Doing
exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
Also, he does robots. He
Hey.
sent an alien in a UFO to the atmosphere.
I
and
thought
had
you were
it come
making
in.
a joke. No, I actually did do that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
He did his own pool in his backyard, his old backyard.
That's true. Yeah.
So he just does everything if you want to check him out. But
Well, I
Ridge,
appreciate that.
how did you get into DIY stuff? I guess you've done more robotic and CAD stuff. So
Yes.
were you in school for things like that and it inspired the videos?
No, actually,
Wow.
maybe I should be, but I don't know, when I was 6 or 7, I wanted to build my own RC helicopter, and I kind of continued with that, and that kind of spread out and kind of off, had its own little offshoots, and I just kind of continued working at it. And semi recently got somewhat decent at it.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
So you didn't even go to school for it. You just
not yet, anyways.
not yet. Yeah. So since a young age, you've just been interested in robots and RC helicopters, things
Exactly.
of that nature, and you just went out your own way to go and look up how to build those things?
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, obviously, there's always a place for schooling and stuff, but it's amazing the kind of stuff you can learn if you just play around with stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's how I learned how to do, I was telling you, most of the crap here. And, there's always more to learn, especially in school gives you a lot of structure, and it's easier to learn that way, but you definitely can do a lot on your own.
Exactly. Self-motivated. Yeah, I think school is just kind of like what you call a furthering of that in a way. Yeah, and like you said, you know a lot about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I know what's going on over there. Very cool.
Well, I don't know what the heck's going on when you're building these robots, but it's pretty interesting.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
So, where did you look to find? First of all, you know how to do CAD. CAD is a pretty.
Yeah, I'm getting into that more. Yeah.
How'd you? Yeah. Well, you made a tutorial on how to do it. So I mean, how did you? I mean, obviously you learned it yourself, but where'd you go to learn how to do CAD and stuff like that?
Well, I guess about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I got a 3D printer, and you can download files to print stuff online. But I wanted design myself, and you have to CAD stuff for that. So I found free CAD, which is what I'm still using, and I'm still very much so a beginner at it.
Yeah.
But like you said, you were talking about editing a little bit. You play around with stuff, and after a while, things slowly start to make sense. And I'm still very much a beginner in all that. But yeah, exactly.
So. Oh yeah, and speaking of editing, real quick aside, I know some of you watching are probably
I'm getting called out.
Are probably gonna be are probably coming from Ridge's channel, but I was surprised to learn this. I mean, it's not a knock or anything because your videos still come out pretty damn good.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
But he uses Movie Maker, dude, and he made his logos in Microsoft Paint, and I was really shook to learn that. But
yeah, I'm hesitant to tell people that because it is like the bottom of the barrel. But I guess if you take the time to learn it, which there's no reason to learn it because it's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
But if you do, you can make it do some stuff.
But it really doesn't matter because as long as you're putting out decent quality,
I hope so. Yeah.
Content, what does it matter what program you use, right?
Exactly.
There's people who are using the best programs out there and they're making, they might look good, but the content is not actually in the content. You don't
like
want to
the Lord
watch
of the Rings, complete trash. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I hadn't watched the movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Honestly.
Well, you're dodging a bullet.
Okay, cool. I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Yeah.
There's probably 20 movies that everyone's seen that you can name, and I have not named them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I have not seen them.
Yeah, everyone has their own little special niche, and it's hard to, get in there. Yeah.
So as far as your videos go, dude, so how long does it take you to plan out a video? Because obviously, like, building a pool in your backyard is no small feat,
exactly.
Right? So how long does it take you to plan out a whole pool or a robot or whatever, and then actually do it and get it to fruition and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, it is weird. So, yeah, I'll either spend 2 or 3 days designing something and then you're like a day making it happen, or it's the other way around. Like, I don't think something out that well and it takes a lot longer. But typically, from concept to, buying the parts and all that stuff, it takes several weeks to plan everything out. And then, of course, then you have videos overlapping, so that slows it down a little bit. But usually about 2 or 3 weeks from concept to, finished product or whatnot.
What's your favorite video that you've done?
That's hard. I'm very, very hard on myself, so it's hard to watch old videos and be like, that was good.
That was awesome.
Exactly. I don't know, probably my mini boombox, though. I don't know if you saw that. I made
the Bluetooth?
Yeah, exactly. A little microscopic boombox I made.
I gotta do my research, man.
No, I have way too many videos out there, and very few are worth watching.
Oh, trust me, dude. I know. I'm sure the first podcast, right? This isn't even my first channel. My first channel was a video game channel called Game and Groove, if you want to check it out.
I will.
It's no, dude, it's not good, right? So it's very bad. I was a teenager playing PS4 with my friends or whatever, and it's just not great at all, right? But we all start somewhere, and even my first podcasts were not great. Even I'll probably look back on this 3 years from now, and geez, this was a crappy podcast,
That's what scares me, is when I make content, I'm like, this is amazing. And then you look back 2 years later, you're like, that's terrible. So I'm like, now, what I think's amazing now, am I going to look back in 2 years and be like, this is terrible, let's delete that? That's, yeah. But no, since you opened up, I had an account when I was 16, and I made my own Microsoft Paint again animations. My own little cartoons, and those are painfully bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's like blackmail material.
Dude, trust me, there's some, I don't know, if this does blow up, right, and I get internet famous or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All I need to do is pay my bills, dude. I don't need to be super famous. But,
exactly, I hear you.
If this does blow up and there's definitely some non-PC stuff out there that is going to get me in trouble on that channel, I'll tell you
some
what.
cancel culture kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
And it wasn't necessarily just me. It was,
No, I hear you. I hear you.
But that's just gamer culture. There's a lot of
it is, yeah.
A lot of crazy things said.
And being young is hard to moderate yourself, more so than it is hopefully when you're an adult. Yeah,
and kind of too late after you already uploaded it to the internet.
Exactly.
So you just gotta deal with the repercussions.
Yeah. And I have very supportive cousins, younger cousins, and they download every video I've ever made. So they're just like holding it over my head. Like, anytime I make them mad, I'm done.
And you know what? I think it takes a certain kind of person, and I don't know what kind of person it is, but obviously, well, that's kind of a dumb statement, but obviously not everyone can put themselves out there on the internet like that, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like you and me put ourselves out there in a way that some people just upload some random stuff to YouTube, but obviously we're kind of throwing ourselves out there and throwing some love and passion into it. And you and me, I could say just from, working with you and the times we met and stuff,
exactly.
that we're very different people, right? So
Fair enough, exactly.
You are, from what I see, you're a very outgoing guy. You're not afraid to chat it up with someone. And me, I'm not necessarily afraid to chat it up with a person per se, but I don't go out my way to start up a conversation because I'm dreading if it doesn't go well. But I feel, I'm not trying to speak for you, but I feel as though you kind of just always got something ready to go.
Exactly.
And just your voice alone, dude, your voice will carry a conversation.
Well, thank you. But you need that though. You need different types of people because no one wants to see the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
You bring different, perspective to everything, and it makes life a lot more interesting.
What I was saying is that it's kind of interesting how we can be so different people, but we put ourselves out there. I'm not necessarily a super introvert. I'm somewhat introverted, but how we both find a way to put ourselves out there on the internet like that to so many different people. Like, it's a different kind of breed of person. We're not necessarily the same, but it's a courage. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely overlapping. Exactly.
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's kind of crazy that things work out like that.
Exactly. It very much so is. Yeah. That's something I do like about the internet in the modern age. Like you said, you see a lot of different people who you wouldn't automatically suspect would be into similar things, but yet, you get to watch their videos and get to experience all that. Dude, when I learned you had a YouTube channel, I mean, I was like, what? That's crazy. Exactly. It's the same when I learned out the same night you had a podcast. Yeah.
And it wasn't, not that I expected you to do anything, but I don't think you really expect anyone to be building robots and stuff. And I was like, dude, this is crazy.
Exactly.
And it's awesome, especially I've talked about this a few times on the podcast before, and I love building up. Well, I'm a little too small to build anyone up right now, but hopefully it gets to this point.
So am I, yeah.
But, dude, you're way bigger than I am, but, excuse me. But I just love that you can you can find people, especially in your hometown, that do so many different things. And I just want to build a community of not just music people. I've had a lot of music artists on the podcast before, but now, especially, I'm really grateful you do this. I really appreciate you do this. Because,
well, I appreciate you coming over.
yeah. But because it's kind of helping me expand, because I want to help. I want do my best. Sorry, I'm getting tripped up because I've explained this before, and I don't want to babble on.
No,
about
I get
it.
you.
But I want to build up a community of artists and creators in Arizona, and you being on the podcast as a YouTuber is helping me get to more people, because now they don't think that, I got to be making music or doing this to be on the podcast. No, just if you're from my hometown, you don't even necessarily have to be it. If you're in Arizona and you do something creative, let's just all lift each other up and support each other.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So that's why I appreciate you doing this.
Well, I appreciate you coming over, and that's a super cool thing to do, because it's always fun. Like you said, even though it's somewhat different, to still find like-minded creators. Still people who are out there in some creative form, doing something. And that's super cool. Yeah.
Now, Ridge.
Uh-oh.
Let me ask you, dude. What gave you the idea? I brought it up already. What gave you the idea to, no, it's not that bad, but dig up a pool in your backyard, right?
Okay, well, that's actually pretty straightforward. So, hillbilly mindset. But I just moved to Arizona, and it was like ridiculously hot. And I was like, it'd be cool if I had a pool. And so I guess for whatever reason, I then spent the next, I think it was 2 weeks. Because I guess the ground was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I spent about 2 weeks digging a giant hole.
Were you wetting the ground and stuff?
A little bit. I was trying to conserve water as much as possible, but I missed it down a little bit. Yeah. But a lot of sweating, a lot of back-breaking work. I guess it was worth it. It was kind of cool, yeah.
Too bad you had to leave it back, right?
Exactly. I filled it in, yeah. But the one video, luckily, by God's grace, it paid off. I think that one video just from AdSense, I think gave me $400 or $500.
That's crazy.
So
it had like 500,000 something views last time I saw.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, somewhere in there. I don't know the exact number.
You're not into the analytics and stuff.
I was, but I stressed out of it over it, so I try to back away somewhat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like that was me with the podcast. I don't necessarily want it to become a business and me stressing out, oh God, my views are down or whatever.
Exactly. It's easy to obsess.
I just wanted to to do it for fun, and I didn't necessarily have a purpose at first, but I just explained the purpose of it now is
exactly
what I find the purpose, and you can find new purposes along the way and add them.
Exactly. That's kind of the whole journey, yeah.
But what made you start your YouTube channel? Like, you obviously enjoyed building robots and RC helicopters, but what made you say, hey, let's put this on YouTube?
And to be honest, very similar to what you're saying. I was hoping to find similar people with similar passions, that you could kind of, because my family, they're supportive, but they're not really into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you find someone online, you go like, yeah, I'm into the same weird crap you are, talk about that in the comments. And luckily, I'm kind of to a point where I've done that. I found a lot of like-minded people.
Oh, yeah?
Exactly.
Have you done any collabs with anyone else yet?
Not really, but I guess it's kind of a collab when I go fight my robots. I meet a lot of viewers or people I watch, and you get to battle each other, and that's a lot of fun.
I've seen you make battlebots.
Exactly.
I hadn't seen the videos. I've seen the thumbnails, right? Is a battlebot expensive to make?
So the 1 pound ones I make, if you do like the most budget-friendly version, you could probably do it for about $150. But I'm getting to the ones now where, of course, I have parts saved up, so it's kind of like an overtime investment. But if I had to buy everything new, it'd probably be about $400 or $500.
Jeez.
For the one robot.
Just to get your robot destroyed.
Exactly. Just to watch it be.
Well, you better hope it's the best robot, right?
Exactly. That's the ultimate goal. Yeah.
So
exactly.
As for BattleBots, dude, they look fun as heck. But
they are. Yeah.
What's it like to see your robot get sawed in half? You're like, no, $150. Like, what is it like to see your robot just go?
Well, I guess partly in planning, I tried to build them in such a way to where the most expensive stuff is the best protected. So like the last competition, I think it cost me literally in damage about $20.
Oh, okay.
So nothing too bad. But yeah, honestly, when you see yourself lose, I personally get like mixed with anger, like not at anyone but myself. I'm like, I should have designed that better. I should have done that better. And then I'm like, I'm coming back next year. And I'm gonna destroy your robot or whatnot. So I guess more forethought. Yeah, like trying to avoid the problems you experienced. Yeah.
What's like the most expensive parts that you would try to protect on those kind of robots?
Honestly, now my servo, which it does the lifting. I have a lifter bot. It does lifting. That thing, it costs about $50, like each.
Lifting as in like lifting an arm or like...
Yep. Yeah, so I have a little arm gets underneath. Robot's supposed to flip them over.
If they flip and can't move, do they lose?
Exactly, yeah. If you can't move, you're done.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of the saw robots too, that's a lot of energy. And if you flip them over and they fall on their own blade, they can do themselves a lot of damage. And exactly. So it's huge, like a kinetic energy fight more than anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you won any?
I have not. So I've only fought twice, I think. The first time sucked. Like, I won one because the other robot sucked slightly more. But the second competition I went to, I didn't place, but I got in fourth.
Okay.
Out of like 16 or 20 robots, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
So it was a large jump. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to my next... maybe I have done 3. I'm looking forward to my next competition, though. Maybe we'll place.
What do you find to be the most effective parts that'll win a robot battle?
Well, I guess it's all in the wedge.
What is like that little...
Exactly. A little angled piece gets underneath people's robots. But that's kind of annoying because some people they won't have a weapon. They'll just have a pointy robot. Exactly. And it's kind of lame because then you have people who like really get into the engineering with like spinners and stuff. There's guys who like they mill out that stuff. They have the science.
Any flamethrowers?
Yes,
that's
some
cool.
of them.
That's
yeah,
cool.
And it's annoying when you have someone who spent like $100 on a little wedge robot, and they beat some guys multiple hours of work.
Yeah. So just because they flipped it over.
Exactly. Well, they don't even flip. There's no moving parts but the wheels. They're just a wedge, just a little wheel of cheese. Yeah.
That's whack.
It is. Yeah, it is. So I guess that's the most effective, but also like my most hated robot, just a wedge. Like, yeah, I make an exception for myself. Mine lifts. So
yeah. Is yours just a lifting robot?
So now it's lifting and grappling though. So it can flip you over and can also grab onto you. Exactly. So it's
and
like
then
a 2-for-1.
To flip you or what?
Not necessarily to flip you, but there are little pits in the arena you can push robots in.
Oh.
So I can grab onto you and throw you in a hole, or at least that's the concept. Exactly. It's worked once so far.
Any explosions or anything happen while you've been there?
Yeah, my first competition, my robot, like I said, wasn't built the best, and so towards the end, it kind of exploded. Like, not due to like the battery or anything, but just got hit with so much force, it just like Thanos snapped on that thing, and
a bunch of pieces.
It disintegrated. Yeah, it was gone.
Is there anything that's illegal in a BattleBot fight?
Well, it depends on the comp. Sometimes the flamethrowers are illegal. But, I guess the biggest one is entanglement devices. So if I had like a ball of string and a spinner, got all tangled up with it.
Like nets and stuff?
Exactly. You can't do that. That's shameful.
Could you like build a robot that shoots acid and dissolves the other robot?
Not technically. Have you by any chance seen Malcolm in the Middle, the TV show?
Dude, it's been I've only seen it when I was little and it was on TV, but.
Because the dad built a BattleBot and his dispersed bees. And they're like, that's not going to do anything for the robot. And he's like, no, it's for the drivers. Like, it's going to attack the drivers and he'll win that way. So I guess that's probably outlawed as well. No bees.
No bees.
But I'll have to check the rules. Maybe they've written that in. I don't know.
Dang.
Yeah.
What's the biggest BattleBot competition in Arizona that you've been to or that you know of?
Oh, actually, I think there's only one.
There's only one?
The one I've been to. Yeah.
What's it called?
The Arizona Robotic Combat. I might have got that backwards. I feel so bad. I love this guy.
Combat.
The guy who does it is David Smalls and his dad. I'll link to their Facebook account. Super nice guys, but I'm always getting their name.
You can send me their info and I'll put it in the description.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Exactly. Super nice guys. And if you want to get into robotic combat, like I said, I think that's the only one in Arizona. And so I think they might have a fight coming up in, I don't know, sometime in the spring. Check their Facebook page. Exactly. But past that, it's just BattleBots, the TV show. That's like the...
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really not a big community, like you're all.
Well,
it's big, but I mean, there's not a lot of avenues to get into it. Like strongman, there's only a few competition. I was just watching that Joe Rogan podcast. That's why I brought that up.
Exactly.
But
I think most states will have somewhere between 1 and 3 different competitions, and they each do it several times a year. Yeah. And
there's like one big national one, or what?
Yeah, that's kind of a mess because they've the guy who did it left. He went to another country, or he bought a castle or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened there. So there's a little bit of restructuring going on, but there was one large one somewhere around here.
Is there any way to build a robot that can't be wedged up?
Yeah, I probably. They might have done that. I'm thinking there's some that are like a Yeti. He's invertible. He can drive on both sides, and he has his own little lifter system. So you can still be thrown around, and that's really one of the primary uses, is that if you just get pushed around hard enough, you often break things. So most robots can self-right now. So even if you flip them over, they can flip themselves back over. But just the initial contact that's really
it just
damaging.
Breaks the little parts, and it can't.
Exactly. Yeah, hurts the speed controllers or whatever's going on in there. Yeah.
Okay. That'd be cool to come out and watch you compete, dude.
That would be awesome.
Are you
you
going to be at one anytime soon, or
whenever the next Arizona one is? I hope to be there with a new and improved version of Talon, my 1-pound robot.
Talon?
Yep, exactly.
Does he have any claws or anything?
Nope, just the pointy lifter.
Okay.
At work yesterday, someone walked up and they're like, "This is my grandson Talon," and I was like, I have a robot named that, and that was as awkward as it sounds. I'll be in the back now.
It's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Excuse him, he was homeschooled.
Is that the only community you've really found through the YouTube? Well, I guess that's really all you probably could have found. There's no probably communities for DIY pools, right?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, there are offshoots of that. Like, there's Arduino or Raspberry Pi communities, I
had a Raspberry Pi.
Hey.
Dude. They're cool. I made a little...
super delicious.
I made a little, what is it? It's not the... Raspbian is like when it's kind of like a Linux machine, right? And what's the...
I'm still getting into all this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Exactly.
So Raspbian, I think, is when you actually turn it into a little desktop computer, and it's kind of like Linux.
Very cool.
And then I forgot what it's called, but you can turn it into an emulator machine, and it's some other operating system. I forget what that one's called. But that's what I did to mine. I turned mine into a little emulator station. I had a bunch of old, Game Boy and NES, N64 games on there, I believe.
Very
had
nice.
A lot of different ones. I had it in a nice little case too to protect it. It didn't do nothing, dude. It fell off a counter probably like 2-3 feet high. Thing was dead.
That is unfortunate.
I see people do a lot of cool things with Raspberry Pis, though.
Yeah, they do.
Like smart mirrors. Smart mirrors are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, they invert it so you actually look that on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I could use that. You think you could use that, though? Like, you think you have to, relearn how to look in the mirror after all of the, years of it being reversed?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just,
I've always
I didn't
wondered.
think about it that far. I just thought about seeing the leather and stuff on it. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, the lettering? Exactly. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Because the Smarter Everyday guy. He had the handlebars where, it reversed which way it turned. I wonder if that's that way in the mirror. You know, you like slap yourself in the face accidentally because you thought it'd be the other way.
You know, I do see a lot of cool things. Arduino is like little.
Yes. Yep.
Little
microcontroller boards or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's not what I'm thinking. No, it is what I'm thinking of, because there's these people who make these cool ass Lego machines. They like dispense. If you put a corner in it, it'll dispense a French fry or something.
Oh, very cool.
They're really cool.
That's an expensive French fry. I have not seen that.
Okay, so
I've seen something like the Lego Mindset, is it? Which might be similar.
I don't know.
But no, I'm sorry. What are you saying though?
So basically, they have, I believe it's Arduino boards and all these other things.
Probably.
That control different parts of the Lego. And they turn the Legos into actual moving machines, dude. Like, they turn them into vending machines. So you'll put a quarter in it, it'll recognize that it's a quarter, and it'll spin the little conveyor belt that it has, drop out a little personal pizza. It's pretty cool.
That sounds really cool.
I mean, there's another guy that is called Zatsinambis, and he always built, they weren't working or whatever. Sometimes they would work, but he built... you ever play Call of Duty Black Ops?
I've not, but I'm aware of it.
Okay, so the zombies, he would build the zombie guns. He'd build guns and stuff from other
very cool.
Other video games and stuff.
I might have seen similar to that. I used to be really into Kinects, and they'd build weapons out of Kinects. And I have seen a few of the Lego rifles and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool.
Kinects? Yeah. What are Kinects? I seen them. They were cool. I know they're like little magnet things, but what did you do with them?
Well, those are magnetics. I think the Kinects, they're kind of like a space age version of Tinker Toys.
Don't know what that is.
Okay. Well, they're similar to, they're a very mechanical toy. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like Legos, only like a lot more centered towards mechanical things. Mm-hmm. So like there's gears and motors and chains and sprockets and whatnot in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I liked them.
How did you get into all this mechanical stuff? Like you said, you liked RC helicopters and you wanted to build one since you were young, but how did you get that hobby? Did your dad or your mom introduce you to... Did they buy you an RC helicopter and you really liked it, or how'd you get into it? Yeah,
well, actually, they did. So when I was 2 years old, which is shockingly young, but it's true, mm-hmm. They bought me an RC car, mm-hmm. which this was back in like, what was that, be like 99? So like now there's like...
I was born.
Oh, so now there's like, you know, the toy grade and like the hobby grade. Mm-hmm. Well, back then there was more just like, it was met in the middle, you know, RC car. I actually still have the car today, and it still works.
Oh, really?
But, you know, from the age of 2, I started driving it around, and so, like, an obsession was born. Mm. Exactly. My strange addiction, RC cars. Yeah.
At least you're not eating drywall or whatever it is.
Well, I do that as well.
Oh,
no. Exactly. Exactly.
What do you, when you're not doing your DIY stuff, what other hobbies do you like to do? Oh,
well, I actually, before the podcast, we were talking about... South Mountain. I don't know how local your viewers are, but there's like a little mountain range kind of by us. Mm-hmm. And there's old caves in there and mine systems. I like to go in there and visit with the spirits. No.
That's sketchy, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust the mine not to collapse.
Yeah, no. And I was joking about the spirits, by the way. But yeah, no, it is sketchy. And there's bats in there. And you don't know what those bats have.
Yeah.
And there's definitely been times where I'm like, this might be the end of me.
How far have you gone into a cave?
As deep as they go.
Really?
I think they're all mines so far.
Aren't they miles long sometimes?
I think some of them are. The ones we have been into, they're huge, but they're not like miles long huge. And there's a lot of different offshoots, a lot of crawling on your belly. But we found some cool stuff. Yeah, they get tight. We found little minecart tracks.
Oh, wow.
You've played Minecraft, right?
Yes, I have.
I'm dead serious. It's literally the same as how it's portrayed. That? It's like, seriously, I feel the same feelings.
Just like wood here, wood there, and tracks? And little beams?
Exactly. Well, more of the caves, like, I guess the mine system is quite the same. But, like, the caves, and you see the little bats fly by, and you're like, Notch must have spent some time in here. Because,
Bat squeak?
Exactly. He knew what he was doing,
I don't know, dude. That's pretty gutsy. I don't know if I would go...
It is scary.
I think I would go and... explore a cave, but once I had to crawl through holes on my belly, I don't know if I go that far, dude.
So I go with my brother, mm-hmm. and there have been times I'm like, hey, you need to go stand over there because this is probably going to cave in, I'm going to get trapped, and you're going to have to go for help.
Yeah.
There's been a few of those. Luckily, we haven't done that yet, but who knows? One of these times, maybe.
That sketches me out so much because I watch this channel called Horror Stories. Sometimes there's some really graphic stuff. So if you watch that channel, you better watch the heck out of what you're going to see. But he tells horror stories of just different things. One of them was a guy who liked to do that. I guess, what is it called? Excavating? Is excavate? No, that's like when you're actually digging it, right?
Yeah, or what is it? Spelunking? Yeah, something like that.
Spelunking, whatever. Yeah. He went and explored caves, and he crawled through a hole that was too tight, but he was upside down when he got stuck in the hole.
Oh no.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
It was tough, dude. I was like, oof, I don't know if I'm gonna go exploring caves now.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the coolest or craziest things you've seen in one, if you have found anything like that?
Well, there's been I think what's called fool's gold, because these were like
Pyrite.
copper mines. Exactly. They were like copper mines, whatnot, at one time. So there are little remnants, stuff like that. And I have a little rock pick, and I was picking one of the walls once, and it's just sparking.
Really?
I know what, maybe pyrite. I don't know what rock that is, but yeah, it's just like
That's fool's gold, I think.
exactly, just sparks like crazy with your. Yeah, exactly. That was pretty cool. But the scariest thing though is whenever you're like alone in the deep underground in the dark, you're always like,
Hello.
is Satan around here? You know, should I have brought a priest with me?
You go alone sometimes?
No, I bring my brother.
Okay, good.
Typically.
That's sketch.
Exactly, but even then, we've ventured apart from each other a few times, and you're like, I sure as hope, I hope that was my brother. Yeah. Wait, am I getting some, supernatural attention over here?
You ever been sketched out so much you just said, no, I'm not going to do this today, and you left?
Yeah, kind of. That's another quality flaw of mine that's gonna get me in trouble. Is I like when I get sketched out, I'm like, no, I have to do this. I can't let this overcome me. Yeah, exactly. So then you get in bad situations. So like I should have listened to myself.
How'd you get into that, dude?
I like to go hiking, and I just stumbled across it, and I was like, I want to get in there. So then you buy flashlights and buy rock picks, and just every time you go in there, you're like, well, I need something else, and it just becomes an obsession. Yeah.
One day you're gonna find treasure, dude.
Yeah, or someone's going to find my dead body. One of those two.
Hopefully not the latter.
Exactly, I hope so as well.
What I have been thinking about, though, that kind of reminds me of is geocaches.
Oh, yes.
I've been wanting to kind of find and do geocaches. That seems pretty fun.
Oh, the birds are back.
We're on a roof, dude. We got to be prepared.
Yeah, they actually do come into my house sometimes.
Into your house?
Yeah.
Through that chimney?
Yeah, at least once. I wasn't home. My brother had like wrestling. I started getting off track back
Wrestle
to Geo.
a bird out of your house?
It was a very Dwight Schrute thing to do, but yes, he got it out somehow. Exactly.
You know what's okay? A quick random off-topic thing. I didn't know that. I guess it makes sense, right? Obviously, but I didn't know that chimneys have a curve in them.
Yeah, so like the rain doesn't get in or whatever.
Yeah, or the ash doesn't fall back into it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So Santa's going down some curved chimneys, dude.
Exactly.
Some Grinch stuff.
He's very flexible getting in there. Exactly. Yeah, well, it's hard to know about this stuff because it's very hard to look in or down a chimney. Yeah.
And that's probably why you don't see nothing because it's got that curve.
Exactly.
But
exactly, yeah.
As far as geocaches go, I've been wanting to get into geocaching. I've seen some YouTube videos about it. Like, that'd be pretty cool, dude. You just go into some random ass mountains and then you look up in a tree and there's a geocache.
Exactly.
Take something, leave something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's super cool, yeah. Have you heard about that? Was it Forrest Finn? Is that guy's name?
Oh, yeah.
Who hid the treasure?
I don't know, dude. People have gone some pretty far lengths to try to find that treasure. He might just be trolling.
That's what I said. This guy's just a trickster. He's like, no, it's out there. Trust me. And like, no one knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he dead now, though?
No, he's still going.
Oh.
Yeah, he's still around. And he says he goes and visits it, and people have gotten within like 50 meters of it or whatnot. But like you said, how much can you trust a guy whose name is Forrest? That's coming from Ridge, so.
Ridge. Yeah, Forrest Ridge.
Exactly. How much can you trust this man?
Why doesn't someone just put a little like nano tracker on his shirt?
That's what I was saying. Just stalk this man. Like he says it's like $4 million. So even if you just like personally followed him, if you did find it, you'd get more than minimum wage, probably like a lot.
Dude, you could literally just not work for a year, stalk him the whole entire year.
Yeah.
Tell your mom that, look, I know I'm going to be mooching for a minute, but I'm going to get $4 million.
Exactly. And then you discover it and it's like, yeah, he lied. There's nothing there.
What I've been wanting to do, this is, I don't know if maybe I'll talk to you about this after the podcast.
Ooh, secret.
Yeah, this is something that, I just kicked a turd. So this is something
Not mine, a bird's.
Yeah, birds. This is something I've been thinking about and talking about, and you'd be a pretty cool guy to probably help with it. Sorry, I'm getting all tangled up on my cords here.
Mysterious. I'm intrigued.
Oh, yeah. It's a very intriguing topic. Sir.
Do I have to kill anyone?
We'll see how serious it gets.
Okay, sounds good. Promising. Very cool.
I think we talked for a good minute here, Sir Ridge.
Yeah, we did.
Is there anything that you'd like to bring up that I forgot? I can't think of anything that I forgot, dude. It's just You're a really creative person. You know that, dude?
Well, I'm glad. I hope this went out well. I hope I didn't say anything too weird. I hope it all ends up well for us.
It doesn't matter anyway, dude. You got the voice to say anything if people listen. It's so,
I don't know. I can say some weird things sometimes.
Yeah, dude. When you were at Target and I heard you on the walkie, almost every time you said something, it almost made me laugh sometimes, dude. It was so funny. I would tell my girlfriend, his voice makes me laugh, or you would say something like that rap. If you guys want to check him out on Instagram, Mechanical Ninjineer, he did like a closing rap or whatever you want to call it.
That is something. So I have a bit of confession to make. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok.
Okay, I've been talking crap about TikTok for years. Like back when it was Musical.ly, I've been talking nonstop crap about it. Mm-hmm. Well, my friend has an account, and I wanted to check it out. So I made an account like a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. And I uploaded my Target rap video and a few other stupid videos I wanted him to see, and they've kind of low-key blown up on TikTok. So I have like, in 3 days, I got like 12,000 followers.
That's crazy.
My Target video and one other one has like over 800,000 views. And it's terrible because people are starting, mainly people I know, but they didn't know I was on TikTok. They're seeing my videos. And I'm becoming the TikTok guy. And I'm like, no.
No. Look at my YouTube channel.
Exactly. I'm like, I got to delete this before I become, I became the thing I swore to destroy.
That's crazy.
It's terrible.
You could do short format TikToks, DIY stuff. That'd be cool.
I tried. I uploaded a video about a robot I built, and like they're like, no, we don't want that.
We want more raps.
Exactly.
That's a lot of little kids on there. That's why.
Yeah, that's what scares me. Is now I'm in the mix of them. Yeah, that was one of them. One of the little middle school girls from church. She's like, I saw you on TikTok.
Oh my God, you're like, oh God, no.
I'm like, no, please, no. Tell me this isn't true. What have I done?
At least your robot videos are too complicated for them to be a fan of. Well, not always. I mean, you were interested since you were young.
Exactly. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, some people like the weird robot stuff like I do. So yeah.
You know who you kind of reminded me of a bit was, I don't know if you know who Grant Thompson is or was.
I do, yeah, I do.
Rest in peace, man. That was tragic.
That was crazy.
But he's especially Kobe was crazy too. I don't know if you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, and they were both like flying accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grant was, I think, parasailing, was it?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Or hang gliding, that's the one.
Yeah, that's what
it was. And then, wasn't a helicopter.
But yeah, maybe Ridge could be the man to be the next,
exactly.
Whatever.
Well, he actually has two, like, Padawans, two apprentices.
Oh, really?
Yeah, helping his channel out now, yeah.
I think they still upload, right?
They do, yeah, several times a week. I think 2 or 3 times a week, yeah.
That was tragic, though.
It was.
You got the voice for it, dude. Let me tell you got the voice.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
Have you always talked like that? Or... And that's a weird question. I understand.
No, I hear you. Like, not until puberty, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, when I was about 12 years old, it went down to this. And it's been there ever since. And it was
Did you wake up one day and it was just like that?
Kind of close. Yeah, I honestly don't remember the transition, but I just remember all of a sudden people are like, because it's unexpected when you're 12, people are like, that's weird. It's kind of like, you're kind of like a flushed away. There's that really tiny slug who has like the really deep voice, and that's kind of like what it was for a while.
One day you woke up, Mom, do we have Reese's Puffs? And then she's like, what?
Get out of my house.
Who's in my house?
Exactly, yeah. Led to some funny, what you call family reunions for a while there.
What?
Exactly. Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Well, anyway, sir, I appreciate you very, very much for coming on the podcast.
I appreciate you coming all this way. He drove like over a half hour to get here.
Yes, I did.
I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you, dude. That's why I drove.
Well, thank you for asking.
Yes. Yeah. You got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
So do you. All your podcasts. I'm impressed every time I watch one or listen to one.
Thank you.
I guess as you're supposed to do.
I'm trying to get better every day.
Aren't we all? Yeah.
Well, if you guys would like to check out Ridge, not Rich, remember it, RIDGE.
Whatever boats your float.
Yeah. And if you'd like to check him out, the Mechanical Ninjineer. Actually, why don't you tell him everything you got going on so I don't...
Nope, you're doing good. Basically, just the Mechanical Ninjineer YouTube page. Ninja spelled with an I. That's really where everything's happening at the moment. Yeah.
Ninja, isn't Ninja always spelled with an I?
No, at the end. Like Ninja is an A. Or J-A, I mean.
Ninjineer.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Exactly. Like engineer, kind of. Yeah.
Instagram
17-year-old me thought it was funny. Yeah.
Apparently TikTok, too. But don't check that one out. Don't check it out.
Exactly. YouTube. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching so much. We'll see you in the next podcast.